Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Come on in. We're at session 3 today. This is the big one. This is the big kind of get into the nitty gritty. So, what I would like you to do is pull up, kind of focus. You can take notes if you like, but just relax because I'm going to walk you through this very, very easily. Okay. So, without further ado, let's go to our first slide. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at how to go back to that strategy. Remember 5 days. Day 1, we're going to read, review. Day 2, we're going to highlight. Day 3, we're going to outline. Day 4, we're going to write the essay. And day 5, we're going to go back and just make sure all the final touches are in place. Remember that? Okay, good. So we're on day 1. This is the first day. This is the first day you're ever going to see this test. The way it's going to run, if you are running it with our school, is you're going to either remotely log in or you're going to show up at the school and you'll be sitting down and the proctor, the teacher, will say that you're going to start with the English CAT test. Remember, that's the computer adaptive test. That's the one that's a little bit easier and you're just answering some questions. It's not the big writing one. That comes or starts after that. Excuse me, I got a little bit of froggy. I must have been kissing that toad. I don't know. Anyway, so when you finish your CAT test, the English CAT test on day 1, they're going to say, thank you very much. You're going to finish that. And then they're going to ask you to open up the performance task. This is the big essay task. This is the one that requires you to do a lot of writing. But like I said, we're going to conquer this. We're going to have the right mindset. We're going to have the right strategies. And this is our first step. We're just going to become familiar. We're going to learn what it is all about and what the task is going to ask us. So today, we're looking at day 1, this read and review. So what exactly are we going to read and review? We don't want to necessarily read the whole test. What is it that we want to do on day 1? Because we just want to get familiar with what our task is going to be. So I suggest this is what I want you to do on day 1. When you open up the performance task, the writing part, you're going to read and review only the directions. Now, why would I want you to do that? Mostly because that's what they're going to score you on. Did you answer and follow all the directions? If you did, then your score is lifted up and you did well. If you miss a certain part or miss something that they asked you to do, that's not a good thing. You want to be able to answer everything. So we got to be a little bit like a detective when we go in to open up and look at these directions. What is it that they want us to know? What are they asking of us as writers, as test takers? What do they want us to do? Well, I want you to remember SAT, S-A-T. I sat and I know the directions. I sat, S-A-T, and I know the directions. Well, what does SAT stand for? I don't want to sit on my directions. That's not what I want. This is just a way to help you remember, well, what do I need to do on day 1? You need to say, I sat and I know the directions. So sat, what is S? S. That is setting. That is setting. That's the conditions or the circumstances. It's the pretend kind of thing that the writers of the test are going to pretend that you are going to try to put you in. So, for instance, they might try to create a situation, a setting that looks something like you and your 2 other classmates are going to the library and you're going to do a research project. You're going to study and come up with a project all about mice. Okay, that's your setting. It tells you What's the environment? What kind of project is this writing task supposed to pretend to be? Okay, so you just want to keep that in the back of your head, and we'll explain why in a little bit. So that's sat, setting, setting. Next one is a. What's a? Action. Action words. These are verbs. These are the things that they want you to do, like describe, write, list, discuss, explain. All these action words are words that say, do this. And so that's what you want to know. Well, what do they want me to do? So you have to look at all those words. Where do you see them in the directions? That's A for action. So sat, S is for setting, A is for action, and then type, type of paper. Remember I told you in the previous video that there might be different types of writing that you're going to do. Maybe they'll ask you to tell a story, a narrative paper. Remember that? Another one might be informative. You're giving me information like a teacher teaches. You're going to teach me in your writing. Maybe it's a persuasive. You're trying to persuade me to believe that your way of seeing something or your way of believing something is the right way to think about it. So those are what you want to do. You want to sat and know the directions. I sat and I know the directions. Setting, action, type. Okay? Well, before we can actually go in there and look at an example, I need you to learn how to get into the practice. Remember, we're going to practice, practice, practice. That's one of the ways to become a conqueror. So, practice, practice, practice. This is a way of getting into the practice tests. So, you're going to go to the CASP, and I promise you, I will leave a link in the description on the video. All you should have to do is click on it, and that should take you to this particular page, okay? But once you get to this page, I need you to follow these directions, okay? Here, directions. You need to do these. So the first one is in the bottom right-hand side. There's a little area, a little box that says practice and training tests for students. That's you. So you're going to click on that box. You're going to click on that little blue box on the bottom. Then that will open this box. This box will ask you, do you want to sign in? Now, if you're taking a real test, you would do a real sign in. But we don't want to worry about that. We are guests. We are trying to practice. So you're going to click on the create or continue as a guest. And so you'll click on that one. That will then ask you, you're a guest session. We're creating this pretend practice test. You're the guest. So you're going to click on that one. Then you have to give the test people your grade. What grade are you in now? Not what you're going to be in next year, but what are you in now? And so you'll click on whatever grade you happen to be on. When you do that, it will open up this. And there's a lot of stuff on here. Most of it is for teachers, okay? I'm just giving this to you so that you can get in there and become familiar with it. You're not going to go downstairs in a black basement and you don't know what's down there. No, you want to know what to expect. So here's what to expect. You're going to click on that top box, the one that says Smarter Balance Practice Tests. And when you click on that, it's going to open up two other ones underneath that, or at least two under there. And the one that you're going to practice is the bottom one that says ELA Performance Task. PT, that's for performance test. You're going to click on that one. This one happens to be 4th grade. And when you click on that one, you're going to go through a couple settings. I don't want you to worry about the settings. Don't worry about playing with any of this stuff. Just hit select. Then in the little video part, it's going to have a little arrow to kind of like play this. You should play this and you should hear, it's really annoying, but it's a thing. And they want to make sure that you can hear if there's any explanation that is going to happen throughout this particular test. You want to make sure your audio is working. So if you hear that, then that's great. You want to click, I could play the audio. that little blue box, that one on top. Then it comes to this last one. You're not going to worry about anything on this page. You're just going to click Begin Test. That little blue button down on the bottom. You hit pop, and it will open up to dun, da, da, da. You have your first test. Okay, and we're going to go over this in detail in our next video. I don't want to make these videos too long. You'll get bored, you'll fall asleep, and you won't actually learn anything. I want you to learn. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and stop here, and then I will start I'll actually open this up in real life and walk you through all the different things that we're going to do. What is it that we got to do? We got to come up with sat. I sat and know the directions. I sat and know the directions. I know the setting. I know the action words. I know what I got to do, what they're asking me to do. And I know the type of paper that I'm writing. Okay? Those 3 things. S-A-T. Got it? I sat and I know the directions. That will be our next video that goes with this day 1 read and review. Next time, part 2 in session 4. And we'll catch you on the other side. Bye.